Today we're going to be making some sad R&B. Let's go. I chose 121 for the BPM, and we're going to be in B minor for this. I went ahead and highlighted that scale. Let's actually start off with the pad for this. I usually start off with keys, but pad 3 is a really nice pad inside of my Loveless Analog Lab bank. So let's go ahead and build out something with that. Let's build out a 7th chord on B right here. We'll probably do 1 bar per chord for this. So then we'll just go right here and skip every other note. That's our 7th chord. So from here, what I'm going to do is actually just copy this chord over right here. And then we'll keep it the same, right? We'll keep like these notes the same, but we'll change this root note. We'll probably go down in the scale. And then having these notes be the same is going to keep like a consistent type of feel with the chord progression. And then we can go ahead and change it on these 2 chords over here. And maybe we could stack another note up here to kind of switch it up. But let's go ahead and take this B and let's just drop it down to A right here. So that sounds good, but I definitely do want this to sound a little bit different instead of it just being the root note moving down. So we'll skip another note in the scale right here and place one right here, which is going to be C sharp. So just by bringing that B down to A and then adding in a C sharp, but these notes staying the same, you see that it's kind of sounding similar, but a little bit different, and we're getting a nice chord progression started. So now we can go ahead and build out the last chord. I'm either going to use 2 chords here or just 1 long chord. It really depends. So we'll just go down the scale again. We went from B to A, and we'll just go right here to G and build out another 7th chord. So we'll skip every note in the scale and then place one. So 1 right here, skip here, place, skip here, and place. And on this chord, I want to add an attention note. And the cool thing is right after F sharp is going to be G, which you can also see is our root note here. So it works out perfectly. If I bring this over and go up 1 octave, you'll see that it's going to bring us that G, but it also is giving us that tension because of that F sharp and G. So Control A, Alt R to randomize. And I think I am just going to go ahead and bring this out for 2 bars. So before any inversions, this is what it sounds like. So now we can go ahead and move these chords around so they can just sound a little bit different. This is them in like their basic form. But what I'm going to do is keep these root notes low, but then move a lot of these notes around. So let's just actually take this whole part of the chord and then Control up arrow. And then for this one, let's go ahead and take this. We'll leave the F sharp. Let's take this A and this C and go up 1 as well, like that. And you've heard me talk about this in another tutorial, but the reason that I like to have this way up here instead of down here is because this part of the chord progression is going to start to go up while the root notes are going to start to go down, and it's going to give us a nice contrast. And then for this last chord, let's go ahead and bring the B up. Could probably bring the G. Have these kind of stay consistent, as you can see here. Maybe we can bring this up a whole other octave as well. There we go. This G sounds cool. I'm just gonna bring down the velocity, but I may take it out or just add it like over here. Actually, yeah, we could do that. Maybe the last thing we could do is bring the C sharp down here. And let's move this down here. Just trying to mess around, see what we can get. Yeah, that sounds smooth. So now you see it looks pretty advanced, right? But it's nothing crazy. We're just moving notes around and then changing the octaves. All right, so real quick, I do think this is a little bit too fast, and I do want these to be like slower chords. I'll go ahead and just bring this out to a 16 bar. All right, so first thing I added was Portal. I used this preset right here and brought the mix down to like 11%. Then Shaper Box with this preset right here. But on the pan, I actually switched it right over here to this sine and then brought the mix down to 43%. So it's just giving it a little bit of left to right movement. Then finally, some EQ. I duplicated Analog Labs and grabbed Piano 2 to layer on top of that pad. This is also from the Loveless bank. For the effects, I copied over Portal and the EQ. So layered together, this is what it sounds like. So I'm going to go get a percussion loop from Splice to kind of just layer in the background. We'll probably go ahead and add some EQ and some reverb to it. But I just want a little bit of movement for this. We'll probably just do an 8 bar for this. Then we'll go right here, Stretch Pro, EQ on it. Probably cut out a lot of high end, make it mostly like a low mid type of thing. Bring it down in volume. Yeah, that sounds good. We haven't even like pitched it around or anything. Now let's go add a lead. So I'm gonna just go into Omnisphere for this. And I have some leads inside of my Beautiful Souls Omnisphere bank. Maybe lead 5. All right, so after messing around with the MIDI for a little bit, I actually did find a pretty cool lead, so I'm just record that real quick. Bring this over here, maybe drop it down an octave. I don't know if that's gonna work. Actually it does. But to be safe, we'll go over to where it's at and cut out some low end. Let's go here. And now I'm gonna go add a vocal to this. So I don't know if I'm gonna go with arcade or splice, but I'm gonna go do that real quick and then I'll be back. All right, so this vocal right here, I actually did find in my splice download. So before even searching for splice, I just went to see if I had anything downloaded that I haven't used. I honestly think I have used this one in a tutorial before, but it just sounds really good. So let me go ahead and throw it on time, but let me let you hear actually what it sounded like, what I was hearing it when I was auditioning them before I even get it on time. Right, so it's not on time. Obviously it doesn't sound good time wise, but you can kind of hear the vibe it adds to it. Now it kind of has like a whole different vibe. It kind of sounds a little bit darker, a little bit sadder. I really do like it. We just got to process it right. It adds so much to it. Actually, I'll go over here, do a cut like that. Like you'll know the melody's done when you can start to hear, at least for me, when I can start to hear the drums like already going, I'm like, all right, cool, melody's done. Let's move on to the drums. This vocal right here just sounds perfect though. Maybe we could drop it down an octave right here. Maybe. I don't think it's gonna sound good though, but it's worth a try. Because remember the lead drops down. Actually, it does sound good though. I like it. I think it sounds cool. I'm gonna pan that lead actually a little bit to the left, bring it down. So we either reused the vocal that I already used in another tutorial or we didn't. I mean, whatever, it sounds cool. We could go ahead and move on to the drums now. So the ones that are LSR are resupply, and then the other ones are from the Broken Hearts drum kit. How it drops out right there. Dang, we literally don't even have the 808 yet, the bass, anything. Let's go into Broken Hearts and get an 808. All right, so I went with 808-2 right here from Broken Hearts, and then all we need to do is go in here. I'm actually going to bring the attack down, sustain up, release down like that. Yeah, this is going crazy. And we could also drop this 808 down a whole octave there. Maybe start this one there. Bring the G up. So that's it. That's all I would do for this beat. I might add a little bit more to it when the arrangement comes, maybe like a snap or something for the transition, but I'm just going to arrange this real quick and then I'll let you hear the full beat. This one came out crazy. I really like how this sounds. It really has that like trap soul feel to it, that dark, like sad feel. With that said, I appreciate you watching. If you're interested in any of my kits, there'll be a link in the description below. Also, make sure to join my Discord. There's a link to that in the description as well. Let's hear the full beat.